Subscribe to Get Curried and click on the bell icon for more updates.
Hey guys, it's the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Get Curried. Well, from this entire madness and celebration, you would have realized that Get Curried has just touched the golden 1 million subscriber mark. So this of course calls for a celebration, and we're celebrating that with the quintessential chocolate walnut brownie. Let's begin. But before I move on to the recipe, here's a quick announcement which could turn out to be a golden opportunity for that one winner. Now, how would you win? In the comment section below, you need to write your favorite recipe from Get Curried, the channel. And the lucky winner, of course, gets to cook with me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar. So do not forget to comment below. Well, now let's move on to the recipe. There are categorically two varieties of brownie, a fudgy one and a cake-like. This one is for the ones who like it nice, gooey and fudgy. Let's begin. For that, the first ingredient that goes in a deep bowl are some eggs. Well, eggs bring in moisture in this brownie recipe, and that's extremely important. The idea is just to combine the yolks and the whites. Of course, you do not need to beat it or whip it up because you do not want air to be incorporated in this. Next that goes in is some castor sugar. Just when it kind of begins to foam up, we need to keep this aside and move on to chopping the nuts. For this recipe specifically, I'm using walnuts and almonds. These need to be chopped roughly. Similarly, let's roughly cut the walnuts as well. Well, these nuts are lightly toasted, and that's exactly how we want them. Well, time to combine all the dry ingredients, beginning with refined flour and adding in all these nuts. Well, you can of course choose to make this just with almonds or just with walnuts, cashew nuts, whatever you prefer. Time to add in dark chocolate. This is basically just cut roughly. Let's give this a quick mix. To bring in the chocolate quotient, I'm adding in cocoa powder. Mix this well in this bowl before transferring this into the egg and sugar mixture. Let's do that. Let's transfer this into the egg and sugar mixture. This is the time when the whisk moves aside and we start mixing this with a spatula. At this stage, you'll realize that you need to bring in some more hydration. Let's begin with vanilla essence. Of course, this is for that added vanilla touch. And now comes in the hydration part. Let's begin with melted butter. Now, because I'm using salted butter, of course, I'm not using a pinch of salt. To make it extra gooey and chocolatey, some melted dark chocolate. Time to give this one final mix. Well, like I said earlier, I prefer my brownie nice, moist and fudge-like. To make it like that, I'm adding in some cold milk. One final mix and your brownie batter is done and ready. Time to transfer this in a greased and lined mold. By that I mean you take any tin mold and you grease it with melted butter and line it with either brown paper or butter paper. We need to even the top out using a spatula. Well, remember a fact that this is not going to rise because this does not have a leavening agent. The only leavening agent to some extent in this recipe is the eggs. Well, this now goes in the oven to get baked at 180 degrees Celsius for a minimum of 40 minutes. It's been 40 minutes and the brownie is perfectly baked. Well, the next step is to cool this down at least to room temperature because a brownie tastes much better and wonderful when it's nice and warm. In case you want to write a message the way I am doing, you need to cool this down completely because we're making a buttercream next and the buttercream would melt on hot surface. For this, I'm going to take some icing sugar. To this, I'm going to add in some softened salted butter. We need to mix this well. Initially, all you need to do is just kind of bring these two ingredients together. Once these two ingredients come together, we'll be adding in just a little bit of milk and just a touch of food grade pink color, and this one is completely optional. The next step is to vigorously mix this, or rather beat this or blend this for at least 2 to 3 minutes till it's nice and smooth. Well, this needs to be whipped till the color is kind of paler than what we started. Let's keep this aside and wait for the brownie to come down to room temperature. The brownie has come down to room temperature. Let's transfer this on a plate. The idea is to place a plate on top of the brownie and turn this over. Well, carefully, we need to remove the mold. Because we had greased it well earlier, it's going to be easier. So that is an extremely critical step. Remember that. Let's peel off the base as well as the sides. The brownie is cooled and ready, and our buttercream is also whipped and ready. Next is writing a cute little message, and trust me, this would not need any explanation. We need to transfer the buttercream, of course in a piping bag. Just a little snip and your piping bag is ready to be used. With this, our celebratory chocolate brownie cake is done and ready. Continue showing us your love and affection, and we in turn would continue showing you some fabulous recipes. Do not forget to like and share the video and subscribe to Get Curried. There are many milestones ahead. Lots of love. God bless.